With the NASCAR season coming to an end and the 75th anniversary also coming to an end, let's have a look now at 15 moments of the 2023 NASCAR season and basically how I'm going to be doing this. So I'll be first starting off with Truck Series moments, then Xfinity, then the Cup Series. So let's first start off with the Truck Series, and let's first start off with a certain driver, mainly being the rise of Corey Heim. I chose Corey Heim. Yeah, I mean, you could also literally say Carson Hocevar, Grant anything. But Corey Heim, he was the most dominant Truck Series driver in this season. He led, I think, most, if not all, of the races, or I should say, after the standings. So, basically in the standings-wise, I'm pretty sure he was a points leader for majority of the season. He was the driver to beat, especially. I think he also got the most wins as well, most top 5s, most top 10s. He even missed out on a race, and yet he was still the points leader. So it really showed how dominant he was. I'm pretty sure as well that if the playoff system wasn't a thing, I think he would be like 100 points or something. 100 points from second place, that being Carson Hocevar. So I think Corey Heim, I think he's definitely proven himself as a worthy candidate, especially for Xfinity and even a Cup Series ride as well in the future for Toyota. Hopefully he doesn't get poached, but he is a phenomenal driver, and I wish him the best of luck next season for Tricon Garage. Let's now talk about a sad thing, that being two teams shutting down, that being Carbush Motorsports and GMS, both of them shutting down. This was a bit of a surprise, even though Carbush Motorsports, that was rumored for a pretty long time from a certain Twitter account, which I will not say, but Carbush Motorsports, I mean, they have been one of the most well-regarded and most decorated teams in the Truck Series. I think they have like over 100 wins as an organization. Most of them coming from Kyle Busch. But so either way, I mean, KBM, they were a very dominant team in the Truck Series. However, KBM, they were bought up by Spy Motorsports, so we'll see what really happens there. We know that Kyle Busch might be doing part-time maybe for basically his old team. So we'll see how that goes. While for GMS, they obviously have two champions, that being obviously the first one being Brent Malford, and then the other one being Sheldon Creed. Actually, it might be Johnny Sauter. I think one might be Johnny Sauter, but still either way. But either way, I mean, these two truck teams, they have been a staple of the Truck Series, and to see them leave is pretty sad and pretty disappointing. We don't really know what GMS, like if a team's gonna buy out GMS, not really too sure, like what Spy Motorsports did with KBM, but I do hope at least that there is some part of them still in the Truck Series, because they've been there for a very long time. So yeah, hopefully they do at least, I don't know, they at least are represented in the Truck Series in some sort of way or whatever. Let's now talk something negative, that being the Phoenix Truck Series race, the finale for the Truck Series. Now, you already know what what my opinion was of the race. You know that I was not too happy with the race, among with obviously other people, as you can probably see on Twitter here with all these posts. So, it was just an absolute shit show of a race, I'll be honest. It was maybe it was definitely actually the worst finale ever. In history, compared to the Xfinity Cup Series this year, it was the worst, like, just by far. So many crashes, so many cautions. It legit looked like that no one wanted to even win the race or even win the championship. And obviously, to top all off, well, Corey Heim versus Carson Hocevar, that was definitely something that kind of really just put the cherry on top of an absolute shit show of a Truck Series race. So hopefully, next year we won't have that. Hopefully, we'll see. Kind of depends, obviously, who's driving there next year. But let's talk something positive to end off the Truck Series. That being Ben Rhodes, your Truck Series champion. This will be his second championship in the Truck Series. Pretty sure the first one was in 2021. So it's been a couple years since, I mean, basically like a year or 2 years, basically, of him winning a championship. And I'll be honest, pretty good driver, amazing driver, I should say. Obviously, the drunk Ben Rhodes was back in the press conference, which was quite funny, and I'm pretty sure like 16 minutes. I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's what NASCAR basically limited because of how because of how long I'm pretty sure it was like 2 years ago when he won the championship first in 2021. But I just want to say massive congratulations to Ben Rhodes. Even though Granite Finger definitely deserved it, Ben Rhodes, he was a very consistent driver. Even though he only got one win at Charlotte, still very, very consistent. So massive congratulations there to Ben Rhodes for the Truck Series. Let's now move on now to the Xfinity Series, and let's first start up with something which actually quite funny happened, and it's kind of sorry to meme. That being Josh Williams parking his car on the start-finish line, I'm pretty sure at Atlanta, might be Texas, I can't remember. But either way, this was definitely a moment that shocked everyone. Just Josh Williams parking his car out of protest. And it was also quite funny as well when he basically, I'm pretty sure said it in an interview with a reporter, basically saying that what are they going to do, fine me, I can't afford it. But luckily, however, sadly, he was suspended from in the next race, pretty sure which was Coda, I think it was, which is pretty disappointing, but it was quite funny either way. It definitely put him on the map, we'll say. Gave him a lot of fans and some recognition as well. Basically throughout social media and stuff, having a driver park and basically park on the start-finish line because NASCAR told him to park it. But I guess he was being a bit of a smart ass, basically parking it on the start-finish line, not actually in the garage where you're supposed to be. But either way, it was quite funny. Either way, so he definitely got my vote as a very popular driver in the Xfinity Series either way because of that move. But at least I'm pretty sure he also got a sponsor about some parking sense or something, which was quite funny. And he made a whole meme about it. So Josh Williams parking his car would definitely be remembered as one of the most strangest moments, but also one of the funniest moments in this season for 2023. Let's now talk something happy, funny. Well, not really funny, but happy. That being Ryan Truex finally getting his first Xfinity Series win. This is a very magical moment, especially for Ryan Truex, of how much he has come to adversity and just grinding his way through the series of tracks, Xfinity, Cup Series, and mainly being as well on backmarker teams even. And for him to finally get his first win and out of all three national series in NASCAR was amazing to see. And to top it all off as well, his older brother Martin Truex Jr. won the next day in the Cup Series. So it was definitely a dream weekend for the Truex family. And I do hope that Ryan Truex at least gets a competitive seat. It looks like he might maybe with Joe Gibbs Racing. But I hope it's full time there at least, because I think he definitely deserves it. He definitely showed up this year as well as with an opportunity of his hands, obviously with Joe Gibbs Racing. So to really show up with that and to get his first National Series win at Dover was amazing to see. So I hope that he does at least get a competitive seat next year, but I guess we have to wait and see. Let's not talk about Talladega, because Talladega has some moments, mainly flips, and it was flips galore. That was the main one that everyone probably remembers. Blaine Perkins basically barrel rolling down the back straightaway. That was a very destructive flip, but it's not as destructive as the next flip in the Cup Series that we're getting too soon. But either way, I think he might have got injured or something. I can't really remember. I think he was in a hospital for a bit, but luckily he is okay. And I'm not really too sure what Blaine Perkins' future is going to be. All I know is that he's probably going to be remembered as the guy who just floated violently on down the backstretch in Talladega. The other one as well was Daniel Hemrick for Colleague Racing, where he also flipped in front of the whole field and landed basically upside down, slid down to the banking onto the apron, and just basically sat there upside down. So that was pretty scary as well. So, but and then with Jeb Burton winning the race somehow. So I guess it was definitely something, but it was definitely flips galore over there at Talladega for the Xfinity Series. Penultimate thing we'll talk about for the Xfinity Series is the Richard Childress Racing meltdown that happened at Martinsville, the penultimate race, which is say for the Xfinity Series schedule before we get into Phoenix. This was definitely going to be something that everyone is going to be talking about during the off season, especially Austin Hill, who basically can't stop crying about it and can't stop talking about it and stuff. Well, Sean Creek, he's put it in the past, so at least do that, Austin Hill, for God's sakes. But that was a very surprising result of having both teammates basically fucking each other up, and Sheldon Creed pretty sure having I think like a sway bar pretty sure broke, which is why he looked like he had basically brake checked it, which he didn't. It was just a sway bar. He couldn't stop in time basically. He couldn't stop, so he basically had to stop somehow. So Pretty unlucky there for Austin Hill, but yeah, Austin Hill, he can't get over it. Andy Petrie, he's gotten over it. He's already apologized. Sheldon Creed has definitely gotten over it, as he's looking more likely to be signing with Joe Goods Racing. But it'll be interesting to see how that goes, if there's some sort of rivalries being built up there for next season, which I'm pretty sure Austin Hill really wants to have a rivalry with Sheldon Creed. That's what it's looking like. But that was definitely something that everyone is going to remember, that basically two teammates have been a massive meltdown, and that basically caused Sheldon Creed to leave the team to Joe Goods Racing, which actually is a better team than RCR, but we'll see if we can actually get some wins next season. Final thing now for the Xfinity Series is Cole Custer being an Xfinity Series champion. Always literally the favorite coming into this race was Jonathan Nemechek. That was obviously like the main one that everyone was picking. However, Cole Custer, he's also been very consistent, and considering as well that I'm pretty sure like back in the past, like 2018, 2019, before he got into the Cup Series full time for a bit, I'm pretty sure he had like 10 wins or 5 wins or something. He was extremely dominant in the Xfinity Series, and he's been so close many times of being an Xfinity Series champion. And now that now he has a championship, I should say, could he maybe come back maybe to the Cup Series, maybe Stewart Haas Racing? Not really too sure. But to be fair, I think the Xfinity Series cars it suits Cole Custer more. So like his driving style, it suits the Xfinity Series car more than the Cup Series in my opinion. But I mean, still either way, massive congratulations to Cole Custer. I mean, was very consistent. I mean, yeah, I think everyone kind of wished it was Austin Hill versus Jonathan Nemechek for the championship, but sadly that did not happen. I'm pretty sure it was Cole Custer versus like Justin Allgaier. I'm pretty sure. I think that was the top two. So either way, massive congratulations to Cole Custer for being your Xfinity Series champion. Cup Series now, and first start off with NASCAR at Le Mans. Even though it doesn't really affect the Cup Series, it's still basically like a next-gen car, so I'll put it here either way. NASCAR Le Mans was a massive thing. I mean, obviously it was to celebrate the 75th anniversary for NASCAR, but it was absolutely unapologetically American. That's basically why everyone loved it, because of just how American it was. Like, obviously, it was the first time that a lot of European fans actually witnessed a NASCAR stock car, and to have it driving around at Le Mans was amazing to see, especially as a NASCAR fan, that NASCAR is willing to reach out to a more global audience. And if Jenson Button, I mean, I'm pretty sure he said in the past that he really wants NASCAR to at least be in Europe for maybe an expedition race or even a points paying race. That would be amazing. I mean, they already had the Wheeling Euro Series, which is not that well known, I'll be honest, but with Ryan Vargas coming into the series to compete for some races, I mean, definitely helped the Wheeling Euro Series even of gaining some popularity. So I hope there are some European fans out there who are watching this or remember where they were when they saw this stock car driving around in Le Mans, and luckily they also survived the 24 hours even with the transmission issues. So happy about that, really happy. But yeah, that was an amazing moment for NASCAR. Let's talk about another driver, Denny Hamlin. He basically had a rise of being a villain. He was the new villain of NASCAR. Move over Kyle Busch, considering that Kyle Busch is actually pretty well liked, surprisingly. It is now Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin is now the new villain of NASCAR, and I'll be honest, I am all for it. I mean, he had some amazing battles, especially with Kyle Larson and Pocono and Kansas, even though Kansas was mainly Greg versus Ross Chastain. But Hamlin even saying at Bristol that I beat your favorite driver definitely rose himself for being a villain, and he is embracing, which I love to see. Considering that some of the new generation of NASCAR drivers are basically the equivalent of a personality of a fucking sandpaper. So I hope that, you know, like some of these young drivers at least have a personality. You know, which means there's a new face in NASCAR. So I hope that at least a driver can basically take Denny Hamlin's shoes when he retires at some point of being a villain. And I'm gonna say this: when Denny Hamlin retires, every NASCAR fan is going to wish that he wouldn't retire. Even though at the moment, every NASCAR fan is gonna be like, "Oh, thank goodness Denny Hamlin's gone." When is like the next year after his retirement, everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, I kind of wish Hamlin was back because he actually has such a great personality." And I'll be honest, really happy that at least he is embracing the villain era that Hamlin is currently in 2023. Let's talk about a couple tracks now. I think we definitely deserves it. Let's first talk about North Wilkesboro, one of the most beloved tracks, especially in the olden, what was it, like 90s, 80s maybe, back then, somewhere in the 90s. That was a fan favorite track, and with North Wilkesboro coming back, and especially as well being the All-Star race for the Cup Series, and even being actually a points paid race even for the Truck Series, that was amazing to see. And I think Kyle Larson, winning both, it was the both Truck Series and the Cup Series All-Star race, that was so amazing to see. I mean, having North Wilkesboro back, even though it wasn't that of a good race because of the old pavement and the probably what the tires that Goodyear had, it was still amazing to see an old track like North Wilkesboro being brought back to life because of the community, that the fans just really wanted North Wilkesboro back. And I hope that we get to have some other tracks coming back into the NASCAR schedule that have been raced since like 1990s probably, and to them be coming back here in the 2020s, that was phenomenal to see North Wilkesboro back. So I hope old tracks will be coming back, like, I don't know, like Nashville Fairgrounds maybe. I hope hopefully that comes back, or maybe some other tracks it comes back as well in the NASCAR schedule at some point. Let's talk about another successful track that made their debut this year, that being the Chicago Street Circuit. That was actually really good of a race, and especially having, a bit biased here because, I'm not Kiwi, but I'm close to Kiwi, I'm mostly Australian. Shane Gisbergen winning in NASCAR was amazing to see. Even though Shane Gisbergen, he will be leaving the Supercars Championship to go to NASCAR full time next year. Basically bouncing around the truck, expanding the Cup Series with Trackhouse Racing. This Chicago Street Race was an absolute success for the Cup Series, and even for the Xfinity Series as well. The Xfinity Series, they had a pretty decent race. I'm pretty sure Cole Custer won that. And having Shane Gisbergen win, a lot of Oceania fans especially, probably now being NASCAR fans, now that Van Gisbergen is now going now to the States next year in 2024. And just having having a street circuit as a whole was definitely something that it was a bit risky when it got announced. However, NASCAR pulled it off, and I'm very happy that they have, because I'm really excited to see what next year brings out really for the Cup Series at Chicago. I think that race was amazing. So I hope I hope it's not a dull race next year. I really hope it isn't like scrapped or anything, and I could maybe, I don't know, maybe NASCAR can maybe look for maybe more street circuits. Montreal, that was rumored to be maybe coming into the schedule next season. Obviously it didn't, sadly, but maybe could we maybe see Montreal maybe coming back maybe to NASCAR? I'm not really too sure. We just have to wait and see. Before we get into Lead the Champion, obviously, well, let's first talk about one of the most violent flips that anyone has seen, that being Ryan Preece's flip at Daytona, in the second race, Daytona, I should say. It was a flip that I think is going to be remembered for a very long time. And, with the circumstances, it shows, obviously, how safe the next-gen car is. That is the most violent wreck I've ever seen in the next-gen car, especially, other than, obviously, the concussions that Kurt Busch and Alex Bowman suffered. But having that flip definitely showed everyone how safe the next-gen car is, and even Ryan Preece is all like taking off his sunglasses, which really reminded me of Davey Allison's like bloodshot eyes, like back in like Pocono, I'm pretty sure, in like 1990s, I'm pretty sure, I can't really remember, but definitely reminded me of that. Also shows how badass Ryan Preece is as well with after that flip. So it's definitely going, I bet it's also going to be in a bunch of like crash compilations. I definitely bet it will be in a bunch of compilations. So it's definitely going to be something. Because he flew like, I don't know how far, like 10 feet in the air, or like 12 feet in the air even, and barrel rolling like 10 times even. I'm just surprised that he's alive. That was a horrifying flip, and considering that he is still with us today, it's amazing to see the safety of the next gen just improving from last year to this year. So I think NASCAR should definitely give themselves a big pat on the back for that. Round off the moments of the NASCAR season 2023 for the Cup Series, that being Ryan Blaney grabbing his first Cup Series championship. This was also a massive thing as well. Blaney, he basically come alive during the playoffs, especially during the round of 8. He was a completely different driver. And I'll be honest, I mean, yes, people are going to say that William Byron probably deserved the championship, or Christopher Bell, or even Kyle Larson. Ryan Blaney was definitely the ugly sheep, we'll say. But Blaney, he still had a very good championship season. It was amazing to see his improvement, especially from last year where he went winless, to this year where he won, what was it, 3 races, I'm pretty sure. And I mean, even though he didn't lead any stats at the end of the season, I mean, he still had a very, very respectable championship season. So I hope as well that this isn't the only championship that we'll see Ryan Blaney win. I hope they win more championships, maybe 2, maybe 3 championships, maybe he will get before he retires. I'm not really too sure, considering the talent that is coming into the Cup Series now is definitely going to be fierce, and we'll see how that goes. So with that comes an end to the 2023 NASCAR season. Now, it's not over yet for NASCAR content this year, as I do have a little special Lego set that I will be streaming on Twitch, RJVT, twitch.tv/RJVT. If you want to watch that, it is obviously the 75th anniversary NASCAR stock car from Lego. So if you want to watch me build that and probably also watch me suffer, yeah, I mean, go along, watch me on Twitch, and the VOD will also be on this channel, on the Motorsports channel as well, so you can watch it as well on YouTube. So that's really about it for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Catch you guys on next time in the next one. Goodbye.